Hey guys, what's going on? Rick Smith Jr. here. Thanks for coming over to my YouTube channel. Hey, today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how I got into my card throwing. And I know a lot of you guys have been asking, how do you throw playing cards? Can you put some type of tutorial together? So I have put a few different tutorials together, but I wanted to give you guys the basics today. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna teach you guys today how to throw a playing card really, really far. I'm gonna teach you guys how to flick a card towards the camera, something like that. One more time, boom, just like that. And I'm gonna teach you a whole bunch of different other things. No card manipulation or cardistry today. We're gonna just stick with the card throwing. So, how I got involved with card throwing. Back in the year 2002, I was playing baseball at Cleveland State University. I was an NCAA pitcher, and I threw a baseball 90, 92 miles per hour. Being a magician, I thought it would be really cool to put the two arts together. Put baseball, throwing, and the cards together and to make one epic card throw. So here's how it is. There's a lot of people that hold their cards. Now I just got back from Cardistry Con in Los Angeles, California, and a lot of the guys that I saw throwing cards would hold the cards like this or like this. Now I told a lot of the guys that when they're holding the card like that, they're not getting as much velocity with the playing card because this right here is going to cut against the wind and it's going to slow the card down. So if you're going to flick the card, which is fine, you can definitely flick the card that way, but you're not going to be able to throw cards incredible distances. So here's my way. This is, if you really want to learn how to throw playing cards, this is what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to take the playing card and you're going to want, just like scissors, you're going to want to cut the top of the card off, okay? It's very important that you have some type of resistance right here. So when you pull the card, it's not just coming out of your fingers. All right, so now that you have this, you're gonna wanna put your thumb on top and you're gonna wanna curl these fingers below. Now for years, I told people, get that card as straight as possible. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a secret here. If you really want the card to move and go really far, you're gonna wanna actually give a little bit of room right here, okay? So now that you have this is how it should look like if you were to put your fingers just like this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna bend it, bend your fingers in, and you're gonna throw it like a curveball. Now, for everyone that doesn't know how to throw a curveball, you're taking your wrist in and you're flicking your fingers forward, okay? So again, the card's like this. I'm gonna come down and I'm going to flick my fingers like this. Again, like that. So now, here's what you're gonna do. After you have your card gripped in this position, you have some resistance, your thumb's on top, your fingers below, all you have to do is bring that wrist back as far as you possibly can and fling your wrist forward. So, it would look like that. Again. Again. So just like that. So now what I tell people is if you really want to get accurate throwing these playing cards, you're going to want to use your fingers to point your fingers in the direction that you're going to throw. So something like that, if I'm pointing right for that lens, I'm gonna release my fingers, letting go with my fingers right there. So it would be like this, ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it? So, to recap here a little bit on the card throw. Fingers, cut the top of the card off. Thumb on top, fingers below. You're gonna want a little room right here and you want a little bit of resistance. You wanna be able to not be able to pull the card out. Pull it back as far as you can and then throw overhand. Now I'm using my baseball pitching to get the most velocity as possible. Now there's a couple other flicks we can do here. There's a couple other flicks. So if you want to just do something like throwing a card into a hat or something like that, you take this pointer finger and you put it on the corner. Okay? What you're gonna do now is you're gonna take your middle finger, thumb on top, and you're going to use this finger to spin the card as you release the cards. Something like this. This would be a good way to practice if you can actually get the card to spin. The more you can get it to spin, the more accurate you'll get. This would be used for boomerang effects, where you throw the card up and it comes back down. It's a little bit windy out here, so it's gonna be way harder to do that. But the more you practice by putting your finger on this, you can actually get that card to go up, come back down. It'll look a little bit like a boomerang. Take the card, throw it up, and come right back down. So this is definitely the boomerang card. definitely the position that you would want to hold it. You would want to keep that card right there on your pointer finger, your middle finger on the bottom, your thumb on the top, and you want to get as much wrist action as you possibly can to get that card to spin as much as you possibly can. So one more flick that I want to teach you guys today, and then I will add more as we go along. But one I want to teach you is the card flicking towards the camera. Now, a lot of people are saying, how do you flick the card so fast towards the camera? Now, this was something that was created called Audley Walsh's pop-up cards. It was where the card would pop up out of the deck, and magicians could use this method to find a card, have someone pick a playing card, lose it in the deck, pop the card out of the deck and catch it in the middle. So I use this in my magic act all the time. We were to take the card, flick it up, and catch it in the middle of the deck. We're not gonna go over that right now, but I am gonna teach you how to flick the card. So what we're gonna do, to flick the card, you're gonna put your thumb and your pointer finger, something like this, and you're gonna wanna bend that card. You're gonna leave your thumb static, you're not gonna move your thumb, and you're gonna take your pointer finger, and you're gonna try to take your nail over the card. So it looks something like that. Again. And again. So now, take that same method and you're gonna bring it back like this. You're gonna let your fingernail go over the card and the card's going to end up flinging up. This is gonna take some practice and a lot of time, but it's gonna look like this. And then once you do a lot of practice, you can fling the cards right at the camera. And if you're a magician and you're on TV, you can do things like this to get that awesome, crazy shot. So let's recap. We've done a couple different card throwing things. I taught you guys how to throw a playing card, at least the very, very beginner things that you're gonna need to know. Grip the cards like this, thumb on top, pinky and ring finger below. You're gonna bring it back as far as you can and flick that wrist forward. So that is your first way. The second one would be for that boomerang effect, to get that card to spin as much as you possibly can. Put your finger right here on the corner, spin the card. The more revolutions per second, the farther the card's gonna go, the more accurate you're gonna get. And the last one, remember, if you wanna just start with one card at a time, you're just gonna fling the card. This is an awesome utility move that you'll be able to use for years and years. And then you can also use it for when you want to fling cards at the camera. Again, you're just pulling that card back off the fingernail. You can't do it with just one or two cards. It gets a lot harder. Thanks for coming over to my YouTube channel. If you guys like what you learned today, please click subscribe below. Make sure you guys tell everybody about this channel, because we're going to be doing tutorials, card flicks, card stunts, magic, and a whole bunch of other things. If you want to learn more about my card throwing and how you can become better, how you can use it in your show, how you have different throwing methods, I have a DVD called Velocity. Just click this button right up here. It'll take you right to my magic store. You can actually get the Chrome Kings. You guys can get the Banshees. You can get the cards that I use in the Dude Perfect episode. So make sure you guys check that out, along with the Art of Card Throwing, Velocity, a high caliber card throwing system. It's all available on my website. So make sure you guys check that out. I hope you guys had fun throwing some cards with me today. I will be back soon, so make sure you guys keep checking back. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, tell me what you guys want to see, and I'll make sure to bring more content for you every other week. Thanks, guys. See you soon.